Hello, I'm Joshua Denny. Today I'm going to talk about how to build a successful enterprise in network marketing. Now, there's a lot of content here. I'm going to try to condense it into a small bite-sized piece, but the reality is network marketing or relationship marketing is a business where you have to interact with other people. So with that said, my suggestion is to really study people. Make that part of your process in your personal development library. Start to get some great books as it pertains to people. You know, Why We Act the Way We Do by Tim LaHaye is great. One of my favorites is How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. There's many other books, but those are some good starting books. Now, as it pertains to people, I've got two philosophies that are important, and they serve as the kind of the foundation of how I build this business and how I suggest this business can be built very effectively and help you achieve your goals and your dreams with your business. The first philosophy I have is friends first. What does that mean? It means just what it sounds like. It means, make a friend. Worst case scenario, you end up with a friend. Far too many of us in the very beginning of our careers, we start looking at people as though they're just prospects, or they're just people that we're going to get into our business or get as a customer. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be gotten as a customer for someone else. I certainly don't want to be captured as a distributor for somebody else, and I don't want to work under anybody. But you know what I do want? I do want to buy something that's awesome. I do want to build my own business and be successful. Those are things I do want. I think we all share that, right? So when you're going out and you're talking with people, make it your priority to become a friend first. Find out what's important to them. There's a whole process on that in one of our additional trainings. We'll talk about how to build a bridge and really ask the right questions to build a great friendship. I'm going to assume you already know how to do that, and most of you do, becoming a friend with someone. But friends first. Keep that as the first philosophy. Is in your interactions, you're going to become a friend with them. Again, worst case scenario, you end up with a friend. You end up with someone who's going to want to help you, right? Because isn't it true that you want to help your friends? You may not want to be in business with your friend. You may not want to do what they do for whatever reason. Maybe it's not your passion or your calling in life. But if you have a friend and you genuinely know that they're your friend and they care about you, you want to help them, isn't it true? You'd want to refer someone to them if you found someone that could use their product or their service or their business or their area of expertise. We all do that with our friends. So friends first. The second part of that philosophy, or the second philosophy I have with people, is I believe in everyone, but I don't count on anyone. Now, that doesn't mean I don't delegate, and that's a whole other training topic in and of itself, but the surface philosophy is this. I believe in everyone, but I just don't count on anyone in my process of work. Let me share with you what that means. I believe in them because I've seen people from all walks of life, from every possible imaginable type of person, from short people to tall people, to larger people to skinnier people, every race, every religion, every type of person, from all sorts of walks of life and social economic backgrounds, from people who literally grew up in a third world country in real absolute poverty where people were literally starving to death around them, to people who've achieved, and those people have achieved extraordinary success, to people who were born in an already successful family and did have some nicer advantages, but took those advantages and went on to educate themselves in some of the finest schools in the world and have established themselves as business owners of various enterprises, achieving extraordinary results in the traditional business world or in the academic world or in being a doctor or an engineer or what have you. And even those people have got involved in this profession and achieved extraordinary results. So every walk of life imaginable, I've seen people and I've met them, fortunately, in my now 20-year span being around this business where they've achieved success. I've seen it. So I believe in everybody. When I sit with someone, I talk to them, I believe they can have success. I believe they have the capacity and the ability within them to do that. So I do believe in them. I've seen it enough times, but I don't count on them. Meaning this, that when you get somebody started in your business, they're going to in all likelihood, tell you, man, I'm going to do this, watch my smoke, I'm going to the top. And they're going to have like when they finally see it, right, the light is going to be like shining on them. They're going to believe that they found their calling, and they're going to tell you they're going to do it. Now, our tendency is to believe them and think, man, I finally found one, especially if you've been doing this for a while and you've got like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 no's, 20 people said you're crazy. Finally, one person's like, man, I get it, I see it. Maybe they went to a convention with you. Maybe they experienced some of the same stuff, and man, they got it. And you could see it in their eyes. They're like, man, I got this. But you don't count on them, meaning that don't just let them go out and do it by themselves. Go with them, help them, okay? Go follow the process, and we'll talk about that. But that's my philosophy. So these are the foundational philosophies in how I work with people. Now, there's 2 goals I have with people. All right, so there's 2 philosophies. We just talked about them. Now there's 2 goals. What are the goals? Number 1 goal: become an influencer in their life. What does that mean? And how do you do that? Well, becoming an influencer simply means that they're gonna trust and respect you enough to follow your advice, or to follow you somewhere, or at least go, okay, I believe you, I know that you care about me, I'm gonna follow what you're saying, or I'm gonna talk to this person, or I'm gonna read this book, or I'm gonna attend this event. You wanna be an influencer, okay? And I would even say be the number 1 influencer in their life. And you may say, well, Josh, how do I do that? How do I become the number 1 influencer in someone's life I just met? Let me give you a formula that works every single time, okay? Number 1, massive communication. Communicate with them a lot, okay? Most people aren't getting communicated with anybody. So communicate with them on a consistent basis. That doesn't mean every time you talk to them, you're going to be talking about your opportunity, your company, or their opportunity, right? If you've met them through your business opportunity or through your product or service, they probably already know that, and so when you call them, they are thinking about that because in their mind, you represent that. But again, communicate about them, finding out what's important to them, always finding out where they're going, are they getting closer to their goals, or what you can do to help them that, or just what I like to say, little touches. How's your day today? Today's going to be awesome. And little communications are important. So number 1, massive communication. Number 2, be the most positive thing they've ever experienced. Now, this doesn't mean go be weird on them and try to pretend to be someone you're not. Just be positive. Too many people around us these days are negative. They're always talking about what's wrong with the world, what's wrong with so-and-so, what's wrong with the company that they work for, what's wrong with society, what's blah, 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 right? People are like that. A lot of us, unfortunately. And so you want to be the positive person in their life. Or when they get off the phone with you, they go, man, I feel better about me. When they leave the conversation, they're like, man, I feel good. People very rarely remember what we say, but they always remember how they feel or how you made them feel. And isn't it true? Think it back. In some of your conversations with people that you really love or respect, most of the time you don't remember exactly what they said, but you remember they made you feel good. You remember the feeling you had, right? And it's positive, it tends to last a long time, just like if it's negative. So you want to stay away from that. Be positive. If you're really going to build a big business working with people, understand you no longer have the luxury of being negative, of sharing your woes. Do that in another place, write it out, burn it, do whatever you got to do to get it away from you, but don't share it with the people you're trying to build a business with. Only be positive, okay? It's important. 3rd step, do what you say you're going to do. This is a hard one for a lot of people, and I know it. And a lot of us, I think there's not one person to say, well, yeah, I'm the guy who doesn't do what he says. Everybody's like, well, of course I do what I say. But if you really think about it, a lot of us, unfortunately, we've lost that in time, and we kind of make excuses for why we're not going to show up on time. We show up late. Well, I guess if you show up 1 minute late, you didn't do what you say. If you said you're going to show up at 7 and you showed up at 7:01, you didn't do what you said you were going to do. Now, we can make excuses for it, or we can just realize the truth is, we didn't honor our word in its entirety. So do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it. Now, I realize I'm preaching because all of us fall short at one time or another. And when that happens, just own it. How many people, how many of you have ever gotten an excuse from someone? They said they're going to do something, they didn't do it, and rather than owning it, they gave you some excuse. You and I both know it was an excuse, don't we? And a lot of times we just let it roll off. But when the person owns it, apologizes for it, says, look, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. It won't happen again. I do apologize. We respect that, don't we? It's just rare because a lot of us have a hard time apologizing for things. Own it. Do what you say you're going to do. Do whatever you got to do to make that happen. That includes meeting people at the time you're going to meet them, calling them when you said you're going to call them, right? All that stuff's important. And those three things will help you become an influencer in someone's life. Think about it. How many people in your life are communicating with you consistently, positive every time they do, and do what they say they're going to do? And if you're honest, it's probably just a handful. And those people have massive influence in your life, don't they? Of course they do, because you respect them, because you can count on them, right? You have confidence in them, because you know that their words like money in the bank. They do what they say they're going to do. They're positive when their name or number shows up on your caller ID on your phone. You smile. You're like, man, this is cool. They just called me. I'm excited about that. That's how you want people to react to you. Okay, so that's my first goal with people, is become an influencer. The second goal is to meet everyone they know as soon as possible. Now understand, everybody is a doorway to someone else. I know this is going to sound a little derogatory, and I don't mean it that way, but the way you have to look at it is everyone's either a link or a leader. They either link you to a particular leader, and maybe they're in development, they could develop into a leader, or they are a leader. And most people in the beginning are links. I was one at one point in my career. I was a link. I linked someone to somebody else. We're all that way, and it's okay. But like my philosophy said, I believe in everyone, but I just don't count on anyone. Meaning I need to get to know who they know as fast as humanly possible. If it's to be, it's up to me. I've got to go do the work. I've got to go make it happen. So meaning that if you get started with me, or if you don't get started with me, I still have to do the same thing. What's that? I got to go tell the story to someone else. I have to do another exposure. That's my job. That's your job. Our job in this whole program is to be the advertiser, to get the message in front of a fresh mind, in front of someone who doesn't yet know about it. That's our job. So if I meet you for the first time, of course I want to be an influence in your life because I want to move you through the process. Of course, friends first, that's the goal. Okay, I believe in you, I don't count on you, and how that looks is I'm going to go meet all the people through you as fast as I can. Don't foolishly think they're going to go do it, because in all likelihood, they're not. But you know what they'll do? They'll allow you to talk with, especially if they'll allow you to talk with the people that they know. And you can ride in on that trust with them, especially if the way in which you approach them was palatable, wasn't weird, didn't make them feel funny or awkward. And if they get excited and they want to do this with you, even more so. They'll even more so allow you to talk with the people that they know. And that's our job. Again, just to share the message. In one of my earlier videos, I talked about exposure is everything. And that is exactly what it is. Your job is to expose people through the process. Okay, so that's my goal. Meet everyone they know as soon as I possibly can. That's goal 2. Goal 1 is, of course, become an influence in their life. Now, with those two things, the philosophies and the goals comes the next set of 2, is what I do with people. Right? The first thing I do with them is I schedule an appointment to show them what it is that my opportunity or my product or service. That's step 1. I got to schedule the appointment to get in front of them. Step 2 is what? You guessed it, to show them your opportunity, product, service, whatever. That's your goal. I mean, that's what you do. You sit down with them, show them. Now, what do? You're gonna demonstrate your products, or you're gonna talk about your service. You're gonna tell the story of the company, what they're doing, their vision, where they're going, why there's an opportunity. You're gonna share success stories of other people that are experiencing your product or service, or you're sharing stories of people that are experiencing success with the opportunity. You're gonna promote some other event, right? Something else that's going on. Maybe it's the next webinar, or the next business orientation, or the home party, or whatever is happening. You're going to promote that. You're going to ask for participation. How do you see yourself getting started with us? Do you see yourself as a customer, or do you see yourself as an agent working with us, or do you see yourself someone that's just going to give us referrals? You know, how do you see yourself participating? You're going to ask for participation in some way. Now I want to stop here for a moment and say 9 times out of 10. Or 8 times out of 10, people aren't going to say yes right then, if that's the first time you planted the seed. Okay, you've just planted the seed. You're going to have to continue to water and cultivate that seed. Most of the time, they're not going to say yes right then, so don't expect it. But be prepared when they do. When they say yes, they want to get started, get the paperwork filled out, or go online. Get it done right then. Stop talking and execute the application. Get that done before you continue on to the next steps. Okay, that's vitally important. Okay, now regardless of what they say at that point, The next and the final step is I'm going to ask for referrals. And I was like, who's your best friend? Who do you know? Because again, whether they get started or they don't get started, what I've got to do, what you've got to do, is we got to go talk to the next person. We got to go plant that next seed. We got to go share the message with the new person, with somebody new. And how do we do that? Through referrals. Who do you know? Who's your best friend? Who lives local? Who can we go show this to right now? Who's sharp? Who's business oriented? Who's looking for a change in their life? And we go schedule an appointment with that person immediately. And we rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. That's what we do. It's very simple. Philosophy is friend first. Okay, believe in everyone, count on no one. Become an influencer in their life, even the number one influencer. You do that with massive communication. You do that with being positive. You do that with doing what you say you're going to do. You meet everyone that they know as fast as possible because that's your job. What you do is you schedule the appointments to show your opportunity or products or services, and you actually show your products or services, and you probably have a system that helps you do that, whether it's sitting down, going through a process, whatever your company has, figure that out and go do it. But the key is to do it over and over and over, to stay consistent, be positive, have urgency, be excited, be real, be you. And repeat this process until you're successful. You mix that with your personal diet of personal development, or your daily diet of personal development, listening to good audios, reading good books, working on the brain, right? Getting yourself to change, to think differently, to become more, right? That's important, to showing up to all of your company events so you're around that energy and you're gaining that confidence, you're gaining that belief, and you're doing the thing, you're doing what we just talked about over and over and over, and you're gonna get better. You're gonna get better. Remember, you're gonna be bad before you get better, and that's okay. The trick is, how fast can you get through being bad to where you're good, to where you're confident, to where people at least leave you and go, man, he or she, I know they're going somewhere. I believe that they believe. And when you light yourself on fire, people come from miles around to watch you burn. And in a good sense, in a positive sense, they're going to want to be around the man or the woman who has enough courage to follow their dreams and to go the direction that they believe they need to go. Be that man, be that woman, and we'll see you with tremendous success, and we're looking forward to it.